Hello, welcome to Moneycontrol. Today with us we have Mr. Arun Maheshwari, Joint MD and CEO of JSW Infrastructure, uh, talking to us right before the company's IPO plans. The company has announced a price band, has come out with its IPO plans back in March, and has now gotten the approval from SEBI. Today, the company announced its price band of 113 to 119 per equity share. Let's talk to Mr. Maheshwari for more details on the same. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, all good. Thank you.
So, given that the stock market is hovering close to an all-time high, can you elaborate on the strategic reason behind launching the JSW Infra IPO at this specific moment? Do you perceive this as the right timing that will benefit both the company and its potential investors?
Uh, Thank you for asking this question. Not that we have timed this IPO like this, but I think you can ask the one of the another set of investor community way back in January 2022 when we had brought in the bond issue. That time we had given the guidance that towards the end of calendar year 2023 we'll be going public, and we have certain capex plans, we have certain strategies in place. By virtue of that, we had in any case we had planned this IPO about 1.5 to 2 years back. So this is the result of that. It happens to be
Okay.
that the timing seems to be good and correct.
Okay. So what you've announced a price band of 113 to 119 rupees per equity share.
Yeah.
Can you share a idea of how you got to this valuation?
So I believe there are certain benchmarks within the industry by virtue of which all the investor community asks for certain kind of valuation, and I think it's a result of that the fair valuation has been achieved. These are EBITDA multiples which are being considered when considering the
Okay.
valuation.
Okay. Your company has only one listed, peer, which is Adani Ports. Your DRHP includes comparison with Adani for all accounting ratios like profit and all accounting ratios. Is it appropriate? Is it an appropriate comparison given the difference in scale and nature of cargo?
Definitely, scale is of Adani is much higher than us. But however, yeah, it is a fair comparison today because there is no other. There's another Pipavav Port Limited is another listed company, but they are purely into containers, if I understand
Mm-hmm.
correctly.
Yes.
Uh, there are no major other comparison in India, but I think for now, for comparison purpose, that remains one of the benchmarks
Okay.
to be considered.
Uh, JSW Infra has a high exposure to coal and steel cargo. Given the volatility seen in the energy and commodity markets in the last 2 years,
Yeah.
what is your outlook for your cargo handling in the next 2 years?
I would say that we are just a port company which we are handling the cargo for any customer for that matter, whether it's steel or power, any other sector. So we are not cyclic per se.
Mm-hmm.
Our volumes have been very stable, and what we have seen in the past uh, 20 years of our operation, it has been
Mm-hmm.
very stable. Whether the steel market has been high or low, or power sector has been high or low, or cement sector for that matter, our volume has been very consistently growing. So I don't think so that has any impact of cyclic nature for the industry per se. However,
Mm-hmm.
considering that even if the steel cycles are up or down, their margins may get impacted some way or the other. How the volumes what we have seen in India has been very continuously growing for these sectors. So I think
Okay.
we are well positioned on handling those cargoes.
Okay. Given that your cargo handling volumes are expected to benefit from JSW Steel and JSW Energy's expansion plans, how do you expect your volumes to increase in the next 5 years? And how are you planning to increase your installed cargo handling capacity beyond the existing 150 million tons per annum to 200 million tons per annum?
So I would say, of course, we are fortunate that we are part of the JSW group, which has the JSW Steel, which is ever growing company and very fast growing company in
Mm-hmm.
the steel capacity. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Being a very separate companies, we are not guaranteeing each other the cargo or the services. However, being a group company, definitely we get a first look at the cargo, and whether we are sufficiently capable of handling that cargo or we are competitive in handling the cargo, that's where we get the look at the cargo. Uh,
Right.
I think we are well poised. JSW Steel and Energy have been very solid anchor customers for us for all
Mm-hmm.
these years of our growth journey. Going forward, they will continue to be there, but our ambition in the last 5 years, if we see the growth journey, has been very
Mm-hmm.
different. We have been investing a lot on the third-party business profile, whether it's a container or LPG or fertilizer or sugar or coal exports to the coastal thermal power plants. So this has been our growth journey in the last 5-7 years, and the focus has been quite strong. almost 36-37% of our total volume as on June 23 has been from the
Mhm.
outside the group. So this is quite a focused approach on developing the third party business for now.
Okay. You mentioned around 36-37% of your total cargo handling comes from third-party, sources. You mentioned in the past that you're targeting to achieve 40% volumes of third-party businesses in the next few years.
Yeah.
What major segments, apart from the ones that you currently highlighted, are you targeting to increase your traffic?
Our major focus would be containers, liquid, gas, and value-added services, so as to further strengthen our positioning in the segments. So that would be
Okay.
our major focus going forward.
So in your DRHP, you had mentioned that for the 9 month ended December 31st, 2022, you had handled cargo volumes of 67.7 million tons.
Yeah.
Can you share the full volumes for the full year figure of FY23, and what
So
are your expectations for FY24?
FY23 we handled 93 million tons of more or less cargo around that.
Okay.
June quarter ending FY24 June quarter we did about
Hmm.
25 million ton of cargo. So
Okay.
there has
And
been
what
a
is your,
14.
so what is your aim for FY24?
I think the way the June quarter is generally, generally around equal distribution for the year, but
Hmm.
quarter two is generally slightly better. Second half is generally slightly better than the half one. I
Okay.
think we can derive from that the volume. We did 25 million in June quarter.
Okay. Like you had mentioned that last year you raised around 300 crore, 3,000 crores from an international bond issue. And this year
Yeah.
you're looking to raise around 3,000 crores from your IPO. Going forward, should we expect the company to raise around 3,000 crores annually for part of its expansion plans?
No, it will depend upon what kind of projects we are getting into, what kind of capex requirements are there. We will be very, very financially prudent. As a group, we have been prudent. We would like to be as prudent as we have been so far. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think our internal cash generation is also quite strong. The kind of projects what we are taking in hand and what we envisage as our future strategy probably will be
Mm-hmm.
sufficiently covered from our internal cash flows and the money what we are raising now. And
Okay.
going forward, if the need arises, our balance sheet is healthy
Mm-hmm.
enough, our ratios are good enough, we can raise further money if needed.
So no more debt or equity, fundraising expected in the next 2 years?
Can't say as of now, depending upon what kind of projects we are bidding, what kind of acquisitions we have, or what other investments we will do. It depends upon that.
Okay. Okay. In your DRHP, you had mentioned that around 880 crores will be used to invest in your arm at the JSW Dharamtar port, if I'm pronouncing that
Jaigarh
correctly.
Port.
And yeah, and the Jagar and the Dharamtar port, both the investment will be in for both for the repayment
Oh,
of debt.
yeah.
As of December 22, Dharamtar port has a total debt of 4,300 crores. What is the ideal debt level that you expect from both ports that you're comfortable with?
No. So as a JSW infrastructure level, if I have to look at our gross debt, as on 31st March 2023 was about 4,200 crore rupees, of which
Okay.
our cash available and our net debt was about 2,200 crore rupees, of
Okay.
which we'll be paying off 880 crore rupees of the debt at the infrastructure level. These are all subsidiaries of
Hmm.
that. So
Okay.
and the kind of cash flows what we have, the kind of money what we are generating
Hmm.
post IPO, we'd be more or less debt free, more or less.
So you're comfortable with a net debt level of around 2,000 crores, if I'm
Uh,
not wrong?
Yeah, as on 31st March, it is 2,000 crore rupees about.
Okay. So in your DRHP, you also mentioned that you're looking to invest to expand your Mangalore container terminal.
Yeah,
You've said that 150 crores will be used for that.
yeah.
Will this use for the expansion of the NMPT's capacity from 2,400 TEUs to 4,000 TEUs,
So
400,000 TEUs? Is that the same investment?
yeah, close to that. So that the total capacity after this investment of second phase would be close to about 370,000 TUs per
Okay.
annum. And
Okay.
this was not supposed to be done now, but the kind of traction what we got in the last 2 years, the kind of volume growth has been we have witnessed over there. So we have preponed
Hmm.
out that investment, though it was not required to be done now for just as per
Hmm.
the concession agreement. But we are seeing the
Hmm.
volume traction is extremely high, and we would not like to miss that opportunity for want of capex to be done at a later stage. So we have
Okay.
preponed that kind of investments.
Okay. Just a clarification, in your DRHP, you had mentioned that around for 870 crores will be used for LPG terminal project. will be used
Yeah.
to invest in an LPG terminal project. Will this be the floating storage and regasification unit at the Jaigarh terminal, or is this another project?
No, no, no. This is a separately new project. It is right from
Okay.
ground, and we are
Mm-hmm.
having an onshore tankage facility. What we are preparing for
Mm-hmm.
LPG, and this will
Okay.
be one of its kind in India as well.
Okay. Where
So,
will
we
this be
are,
located?
sorry,
Where will this be located?
Jaigarh Port in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra.
Okay, sure. And what would be the capacity that you're looking to, get from this capacity, from this facility?
LPG terminal would be close to about 2 million ton of additional capacity. What we are building.
Okay, and you expect to commission this by?
It will take about 30 months from today.
Okay. So, exim volumes in India have fallen in the last 6 months. What are your expectations for cargo volumes, and when do you expect exim volumes of the industry to bounce back?
I think in general, barring 1 or 2 quarters, if I have to look overall India, that should not be an indicator. The way India is growing, the way India is offering an opportunity for growth is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Like in any which case, the kind of GDP growth what we are showing for this kind of economy, nowhere you can else see in the world, and no economy can grow without touching the shores. So I think we are well positioned in this sector, in the country, which is growing extremely fast. So I
Okay.
doubt, this 1 or 2 aberration is a real benchmark for any industry or any country for that matter.
Okay. Do you have a target that you've set for yourself for your, growth in volumes for this year and going forward?
We would like to, ride the wave of growth of India, and we would
Mm-hmm.
like to go along with them. I think there's enough opportunity for everyone to grow, and since we are in this sector for long now, 20 good years
Mm-hmm.
we are there, and
Mm-hmm.
the appetite to grow is there. The balance sheet is good, so we would like to ride the wave, and we would like to make a mark in the industry in a much more prominent manner than what we are.
Okay. Okay. So last year you had commissioned the Pradeep East Coal
Paradip.
Terminal in Odisha, yeah, with a capacity of 30 million tons per annum.
Yeah.
Given that India's coal exports have fallen 25% in the last 3 years and are expected to fall further given the government's push towards green energy, what are your long-term plans for Paradip Port?
So when we talk about Paradip Coal Export Terminal, these are not
Mm-hmm.
virtually exports from India. For a port, it is an export, but however, the entire
Mm-hmm.
volume goes into the coastal movement of India. So all
Right.
these power gencos, whether it's Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or Telangana or Maharashtra or Karnataka, they take
Mm-hmm.
the coal volume largely by sea route because that is the cheapest and the quickest way of getting the cargo. And the
Right.
facilities were very inadequate earlier. So we have bidded this terminal, we have won this terminal, we have made it operationalized within the last 18, 20 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we are very happy to say that, in 18, 20 months, we are touching close to 60% utilization today, which is
Okay.
very unusual for this kind of very, very big coal terminal, what we see today.
Okay. So the second part of my question was that, given the government's push towards green energy, and
Yeah.
that the fact that India's coal imports have fallen 25% of the last 3 years, what are your long-term plans, 5 to 6 year plan, 5 to 10 year plan for the Paradip port
So
and your?
coal has not been exporting coal. I definitely agree that there has been a serious attempt made towards going green as much as possible. But however,
Mhm.
looking at all the reports and all the media or all the government reports also, I think we will
Mhm.
peak on energy consumption on the thermal side by 2050.
Okay.
Still a very good demand of coal, and I think more capacities are getting added towards south of India on the thermal power plants,
Hmm.
and it has a good future at least for 2 to 3 decades more.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
The Indian Railways is also looking to increase its market share in the cargo handling segment. Do you have any plans to connect your ports with the dedicated freight corridors through a direct rail line?
So definitely yes, we would like to explore all those possibilities, and we have been exploring these possibilities. When you talk about dedicated freight corridors, probably that has a limited shoreline touching. It comes
Hmm.
right from North India till up to JNPT as of now on the
Hmm.
west side.
Yep.
But otherwise, the rest of the India where the coastline is available, DFC is not there. But then yes, definitely railway connectivities are a good project to consider. And given an opportunity and
Okay.
any compelling opportunity, we would definitely consider that as well as one of the businesses for our company.
Okay. What is your view on competition in India, given that consolidation is happening in the port segment and in the cargo segment?
Such a huge coastline, 7,500 kilometers. Hardly
Hmm.
any big ports are developed in the last 70, 80 years. There are definitely very, very good efficient ports in India, but there's enough pie. Everybody can create assets, and we would encourage more and more players are required. If the economy has to go from 4 trillion to 10 trillion, I think we need more players in this sector to get into. So it's enough pie, and everyone can grow very very robustly in this sector.
Okay. Do you have any plans to diversify into any other segments within infrastructure?
I think anything which adds value to our port sector would be very encouraging for us, whether it is a railway line or slurry pipelines or kind of gas lines, other stuffs. That would be more exciting. We are not averse, we are not closing our doors to any other opportunity which adds value to our business.
Okay. Will acquisitions play an important role in the road ahead?
Of course, that would be another way of growing. There are far and few opportunities available, which we continuously explore, and we are still exploring it. I think,
Okay.
given a good choice, given a good returns, we would like to encash those.
Are there any specific acquisitions that you would like to mention that you're looking
No,
at
there are
at the moment?
several small opportunities which we are exploring, and I think it will take time for us to sign a definitive agreement.
My last question for the day, sir.
Yeah.
The National Green Terminal and Tribunal in March suspended the environmental clearances for Jindal Steel Works mega project at the Paradip port in Odisha. Has
Yeah.
there been any significant development since then? And how are you planning to address the concerns of the National Green Tribunal?
I think that probably JSW Steel or Utkal can answer it more efficiently because they are the ones who are handling that part.
Hmm.
Uh, but what I understand largely is that everything is on course and we are going ahead with that project. All the approvals
Okay.
are in place for now.
Okay. So by when should we expect all these approvals to come through?
I think approvals are all in place. The
Okay.
project should commence any time now, but I think
Sure.
JSW Steel would be more qualified to answer that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. Thank you for